Good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great day. Tomorrow is finally frickin' Friday. I don't have my countdown clock. I forgot how many days it is. Is it 83? Are we on 83 days? Man, I'm going to be here for a few days of stuff, so when I come back, we'll be in the 70s. Oh my goodness. And this is a happy, sad day because now minicamp, OTAs, off-season training, the draft, free agency, all that stuff is behind us now. School's out for summer. And knock on wood, the Cowboys are getting healthy. You've got the Cowboys. You got Diggs talking about getting back early. You got Overshown and things who, remember when Overshown was asked about if he thinks he'll be back for the Thanksgiving game against, the game against Kansas City? Yeah, that is Thanksgiving. Is it Thanksgiving? Yeah. And he looked like, bro, I'm going to be back well before then. So the Cowboys are getting good news on the injury front. The Cowboys got great news on the George Pickens trade. That George Pickens seems to be the real deal Holyfield. That the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, who's kind of holding in. Now today's workout, the last day, they didn't take the day off and go bowling. They didn't go out and do anything crazy or different. They did a walkthrough, and Micah Parsons was part of the team drills through the walkthrough. And now it is hold your breath time. Hold your breath and hope that nobody slices their hand while slicing the bagel, that nobody trips around the pool trying to catch their cell phone, that nobody gets into a brawl in a nightclub or goes racing in Dallas and crashes their car. That the guys take everything that they learned, all of the teammates and stuff there together, that they continue to work themselves to stay in shape, and that they get ready to go to Oxnard. I am going to say that this has been the polar opposite of any offseason that we've had. This offseason has actually been a joy. It started off rocky with Mike McCarthy and whether Mike McCarthy was going to be back and the Cowboys waiting to fire him. It felt like Jason Garrett 2.0, where the season was over, everybody had fired all their coaches, and here it is, Jason Garrett's coming to work every day. And you're just sitting there saying, dead man walking, and it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And finally, they fired him, and we got Mike McCarthy. But every offseason, we've seen the Dallas Cowboys pretty much do nothing. With the exception of trading for Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. That was the highlight offseason of the Mike McCarthy era. Typically, we let go of our big name free agents and didn't replace them. We always heard Stephen Jones talking about, I believe in our guys. We don't want to spend a bunch of money in free agency because, in free agency it's because you messed up in the draft. And you got to pay great money for good players and so on. And we'd just rather not be a player. We'd rather have a hole. We want to look at position flex. That's typically what we would get. We would get the Dallas Cowboys, the worst off season. But this year, getting George Pickens, signing Osa and Digazua before free agency, before he had a chance to go out there and test the markets. All of this stuff is literally brand new. If the Cowboys get Micah Parsons done before training camp, then you have to say it's been the perfect offseason. I don't know what more. I mean, I know people will say, well, we could have gotten, this name player, we could have signed Nick Chubb or, things like that. But, the Cowboys did a lot. And listening to Brian Schottenheimer, he sounds confident. He sounds like he is ready to roll. And he has no doubt that this team is going to be successful. As he put it today, that one of the worries they're going to have is they're going to be successful and people are going to be coming after my coaches. I like his mentality. I like his attitude. I like his confidence. And I think the players are feeding off of that. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So the Cowboys brought in 5 free agents yesterday. They're kicking the tires on players because players acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job. And I think we're actually looking at a different Dallas Cowboys. Dan Salito, I do his show every week. I don't know why I do his show every week, but I do his show every week. And he always comes up with stuff that just kind of is off the wall. He believes, I remember him saying last summer, now according to Michael Irvin, that Dion and Sador were going to be here. I remember doing a live stream with them when the rumor from the Cleveland Brown sportscasters said that they were negotiating Dak Prescott being there with Cleveland. Dan Salito said, oh yeah, he talked to Jimmy Johnson and it was true. Okay, all right, well, so be that as it may. But he did say something that I kind of believe, but then again, maybe I don't. That this was going to be Jerry Jones's last year. And that after this, it's going to be Stephen Jones running it. I feel like Stephen Jones has already taken the reins. That Jerry will always be there. Jerry will always come into the office. Jerry will always be there. I think Jerry will end up dying there at AT&T or at the Star, because that's the way I think he'd want to go out. But as far as running the day-to-day operation, that's Stephen Jones. And for years, I worried about that day with Stephen Jones, because I remember Stephen Jones saying things like, when Jerry's gone, we'll probably take less risk than Jerry. And I'm like, we ain't taking risk since Greg Hardy. What are you talking about? But I think Stephen Jones has finally woke up and realized that the crap that he's been speaking for all these years is exactly that crap. And figuring out how to win. We'll see if any of this works out. I hope it does. And hold your breath, people. We got about 6 weeks before we start seeing them on the field. But I feel good. I feel excited. And I'm happy. Don't forget, this weekend is Father's Day. And I hope that all of you fathers out there have been part of your kids' lives. If you haven't been, it's really been your loss. I know I am truly blessed to have my kids and have them in my life. And if you've had a dad that's been there, make sure you remember him. This will be the first Father's Day that I don't have my father-in-law or my father. It's going to be tough. But as I always tell you guys, make sure you tell the people you love how much you love them. might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. God willing, we'll all see each other tomorrow.